Well, the wait is finally over. College football is back. We are talking week one. Alabama, the fourth-ranked team in the country, at home on Saturday, hosting Middle Tennessee. Mike McCoy and I are going to break everything down. You look like you just came off the practice field yourself. He's ready to go to talk some football. Let's go head-to-head. All right, guys, welcome in Mike McCoy, former Alabama wide receiver, joining us from Maximum Performance Institute in Bessemer. Mike, it looks like you just came off the practice field, like I said, getting a workout in, getting ready for Saturday, or what?
I am. I'm trying to keep this dad bod off of me. So please excuse Reggie Ragland in the background.
All right. Dancing. I love it. I love it. He's in game mode too. Everybody is hyped for the college football season. I don't know how you do what you do right now with a toddler, a 3-month-old. You've got to be pretty busy.
I am, and I'm the strength coach over at Hoover High School, so wow. I got my hands full.
Yes, you definitely do. No doubt about that. Quickly want to thank our sponsor, Alabama Cattlemen's Association. Let's talk some football, Mike. Middle Tennessee coming into town. We heard from Nick Saban in his weekly Monday press conference. That was the usual part. The unusual part about this week is that Nick Saban didn't release a depth chart, and that's kind of been national headlines all week, is that how is this going to impact the team? And really, it seems to be impacting the media more than anything. What is your initial reaction to seeing Coach not release a depth chart in week one, as he has done for the last 16 years?
Well, the good thing about Coach Saban is he always seems to reinvent himself. Mm-hmm. He is the ultimate Jedi, and he's going to do the Jedi mind tricks. Yeah. So the fact that he hadn't released the depth chart, it leaves people engaged, one, and leaves people in suspense. Again, Coach Saban is a student of the art of war. So you can't do what you don't know. So the less you know, the less he shows. So I'm all for it. I'm tuned in. But I got some intel, but I can't tell y'all. Just tune in. I think you guys will be surprised and ready for a treat.
All right, we'll try to get that out of here in the next 2 minutes, but I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to. Saban says that he doesn't want guys to feel like they're backups. He wants them to continue to compete for jobs every single day leading up to this Middle Tennessee game. As a player, when you saw the depth chart, how did that impact your mentality throughout the week?
Well, the times are different. Just being as a coach, the time when I came out, I understood I would not play maybe until I was a sophomore or a junior or even a senior at times. Yeah. These kids nowadays, they want instant gratification. So wordplay has to be a little different with these kids because let me just throw it out there. Lauren know how I am. Simone, you're going to get to know me. I'm pretty blunt with it.
She said that.
All I'm going to say. We are in a soft culture. We are in a soft generation. So we have to coddle these babies a little bit so they don't get these walking papers. So Coach Saban is not only competing with just the incoming freshmen, he has to cater to the juniors and sophomores on the team. So I think that's a tactic.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I said the same thing to a coworker yesterday, and it wasn't a knock on what Coach Saban is doing. He is conforming with the times, and he has to do it. He's one of the best to do it. He understands that as things change, he must change too to be successful. NIL, everything that's happening, transfer portal, you don't like it. It's just part of it. But like you said, as we have a softer generation, he doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so to speak. And you think like, this can't be the same guy who's won, 6 national titles, but it is. And I think that's just part of what makes him as great as he is. The quarterback battle is really the main focus. And if, there wasn't a depth chart released in a year where maybe there wasn't a quarterback battle, maybe there wouldn't be as much attention to it. But obviously that position is making this more interesting, a lot more intrigue in the quarterback battle as Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, and Tyler Buckner compete for the job. When you've seen the couple minutes of video that Alabama has released of guys just throwing balls to individual receivers running routes, have you been able to see anything from that video, Mike? What is your analysis of that?
Each player has their own identity. They all bring something different to the table. You can't put each one into a box. You can't say, hey, this is what he does well. I guess my biggest question is going to be, how is the play called? Is it going to be something we saw last year? Is it going to be a lot of – because that's going to feed into – the attributes of each quarterback. I would not be surprised if he plays all 3. I would not be surprised to give them a look. But I think Milroe will take over the reins. I'm excited to see this kid play. I've heard phenomenal things about him, but I'm also hearing these boys on his heels like a flip-flop too.
Okay.
So,
well, there you go. And one thing that Saban has said, not only this week, but in weeks past, is that just because you're the guy for week one doesn't mean you can't lose the job.
Oh, I can attest to that. I lost mine.
There you go.
I lost mine my junior year. I had to earn it back.
Okay.
I remember the play like it was yesterday.
Uh-oh.
So,
what happened? Well, you got to tell us. What happened?
We were in run scale. It was one-on-ones. Me and Kareem Jackson kind of made hey man, we're gonna be easy on this. This ain't just on the ball, but so I'm just gonna run. You gonna run too. Well, Kareem decides to throw me aside and make the tackle, and I got cussed out. And Mays, you're up. So
how long did it take you to forgive Kareem for that?
I mean, it's part of the game. I should have been on my P's and Q's.
You're right. So you think we'll see multiple quarterbacks Saturday? I totally agree. But Saban has to have an idea of who it's going to be, who's going to be the main guy going into week 2. So how can he use this game as an opportunity to really evaluate where they're at in the quarterback room and what that looks like going into Texas?
Where I think it's headed is what would determine week 2 starting quarterback will be who can command the room, who has more positive than negatives. It's not going to be on yardage. It's going to be body language and who looks comfortable controlling the game.
Yeah, not only were there some question marks offensively, but defensively as well with the departure of Will Anderson Jr. and others. What do you like about this team on the defensive side, and anybody in particular that you have your eye on going into this year?
Yes, I'm looking for the cornerback alongside Kool-Aid. We know he's established himself. We know he has all the accolades and the credentials.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to see who is going to replace who is going to step up and evolve. I'm expecting Malachi Moore to come in and make some big plays or apply a lot of pressure. I'm excited to see what Dallas Turner is going to do. He has been the talk of the town.
Yep.
Tim Keenan, I've heard since he dropped that weight, he has turned into the baby Hulk.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I haven't been excited in a long time. I hope the defense is a lot more fluid than last year. And with Coach Steele, my main man, calling the defense, I think he's going to bring that old swag back to Bama. Guys can attest, I haven't met a player who has played for Coach Steele that doesn't love him. So when you have a coach that's a player's coach, guys lay it on the line every day for him.
Yeah. Coach. I love it. Coach Steele will be in the box and calling games this year. So will Tommy Rees, the new offensive coordinator at Alabama. And Mike, I want to get your thought process. What was your experience in having a play caller in the box versus someone who is on the field? Was it different? What all have you experienced in your career in terms of just how that felt as a player?
Well, for me, I've had, in my 4 years, I had 3 offensive coordinators. So it changed a lot.
Dang.
Me personally, I would prefer my offensive coordinator to be on the field.
Okay.
I feel like you connect, you're talking, hey, let's try this.
Yeah.
As opposed to a headset. And that's just me.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, it goes for different people. A bird's eye view over me having a conversation, telling you what I see. Now, the fact that he came from Notre Dame, I wasn't too thrilled about that because it's not like they, high-powered offense. But we gonna see.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Nick Saban has really liked what the energy that Tommy Rees has brought, just kind of maybe the fresh ideas, so to speak, but also while respecting what Nick Saban is and who Nick Saban is and what he has done to this program so far. All right, let's talk quickly about Middle Tennessee. This is a team that Nick Saban, as he says to everybody, you have to respect. They were 8-5 last year. They beat a top 25 Miami team, so they have that big win potential. In terms of on the field, what do you think that this game looks like and how does it play out?
Honestly, I would not sleep on these guys. I know they have some weapons over there at the skill position, so I would not close my eyes and just turn my back on them. It's definitely, we would love to see a 35-point game, but if I didn't, I would not be surprised. This is the first game of the season. We have not established all the starters on offense or defense, so it's going to be trial and error. I feel like this is, I'm not going to say a dress rehearsal, but a dress rehearsal.
You really don't know. There's so many question marks, especially when you lose your top players on both sides of the ball. All right, well, Mike, you're gonna have to coach me through this a little bit. This is my first time on head-to-head, so it's first time making predictions. Let's talk about what we think this game is going to look like on the scoreboard when it hits triple zeros. I'm going to let you go first.
Prediction time.
Drum roll.
I got Alabama 56-10.
56-10. Okay, I like it. We'll see. And I'm kind of similar to that. I have Alabama 45-7. So I actually had 10 initially, but I feel like they will just score in garbage time, maybe late in the game if there are guys just getting reps, third or fourth stringers, maybe not anything early on. But you never know. Some guys can just break off a run in open space, and then they kick a field goal. It could be 10 on the board for Middle Tennessee. We'll see.
Definitely no such thing as a scrub on a college football field. Everybody's a man.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. All right, guys, we will definitely see on Saturday under the lights at Bryant-Denny Stadium, a 6:30 kickoff in Tuscaloosa between Alabama and Middle Tennessee as the Tide work to figure out who will be in the starting lineup. And we'll see. We don't have a depth chart, but we will see what the starting 11 looks like on both sides of the ball. Mike, thank you so much. I've enjoyed it.
Hey, see you soon.
All right, want to quickly thank our sponsor, the Alabama Cattlemen's Association. Thanks for tuning in to Head to Head.
Brought to you by Alabama Beef Farmers and Ranchers.